love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the
Good evening, what's up and what's good, and welcome to All About Sports 216 Sports Show with me, Keith Allen, here on this chilly Friday evening. What's up and what's good with y'all? Good evening. It's the start of the weekend, and I'm having a throwback moment show because this is when my show first started on a Friday 3 years ago, and normally I would come on a Tuesday, but for some reason, I just can't get it together. I don't know why. I just can't get it together. I can admit it. They say first thing is to admit that you're part of the problem. That's the first thing to admitting things and to focusing and going forward is to admitting that you're part of the problem, which I'm going to get to that with one of our local teams today. I'm definitely going to get to that. First, I want to give a shout out to all the people that's watching me on Facebook Live, and LinkedIn, and Twitter, X, and I got another, and YouTube and everything. Feel free to hit me up. Also, I got this caption right here. The chat lines are open. Feel free to hit a brother up if it's something about the Browns, about the Indians, about the Cavs, about Ohio State that you want to talk about. Hit me up for this next hour because we're going to get in depth to it. First, we're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns. And I'm going to ask y'all, are the Browns really serious about winning? Are they? Because if they are, and if they claim they're serious about winning like they say they are, they're going to have to make some changes, some subtle changes. Then also, tomorrow night, Ohio State will be playing in their first home playoff game against Tennessee, which is a game you would think that the Ohio State Buckeyes can win, but it's also a game. It's a game they should win, but it's also a game they could easily lose. And I'll tell you why. Then also, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers, who will be taking on tonight the real Milwaukee Bucks. You know, first two games, the Cavs took on the Bucks. The Bucks weren't quite themselves. They were in the midst of a 2-8 start, and now the Milwaukee Bucks got things in full throttle. And matter of fact, they just won the Emirates, the second annual Emirates Cup tournament for the regular season. And now we're going to really see what the Cavs got against the Bucks, with Giannis fully healthy and everything, and Dame Lillard. Middleton, I don't know if he's playing tonight or not. I don't know. He was sick in the championship, but we don't know. But that will be interesting. Then also we're going to talk about the Guardians and what in the world are the Guardians doing and what are they thinking and stuff with the recent trade they made, and also recent trade and possible trades that they may make, because I heard Josh Naylor may be on the block, which I don't particularly care for that to happen, but you know the Guardians are going to do what the Guardians do, but we'll see. And also, I'll give you my predictions on the college football games for this weekend in the playoffs. And I'll also give you my top 10 NFL power rankings for this week. Now, it might be a hot mess this week because, hey, I just been going through it this week. Going through it this week. But hey, we gonna start off with the Cleveland Browns. Oh, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna start off with the Cleveland Browns. Now the Browns are 3-11. They're cooked as far as this year. They're 3-11. They play the Cincinnati Bengals this Sunday in Cincinnati. Cincinnati 6-8, and they done won a few games in a row. And the Browns also done made a quarterback change. Dorian Thompson-Robinson will be the starting quarterback this Sunday and probably therefore for the rest of the season in place of Jameis Winston, who, Jameis, he can motivate the troops, but he also has a habit of throwing a few interceptions every now and then and everything. So the Browns decided to change up with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Now, I asked myself, is this team really serious about winning? Really? Because if you go through the past years and things, especially with the quarterbacks, I won't particularly say that they missed on quarterbacks, but I will say this, that the Cleveland Browns mismanaged the quarterbacks. And I'm going to give you a prime example and why this team probably should make a move next year, especially if they're thinking about drafting a quarterback next year. But, prime example, 2017, the Browns go 0-16. They throw a parade, everything. After that, 0-16, 1-15. The year before that. That's normally a death sentence for a coach. What did the Browns do? They gave Hugh Jackson an extension. An extension. After going 1-15, 0-16 in 2 years, 1-31 in 2 years, he gets an extension and get the first pick in the draft, which happens to be Baker Mayfield. Now, what happened during that season, in Baker's rookie season? First, he started off on the bench as the second string behind Tyrod Taylor. Then he comes in when Tyrod gets hurt. Then it was the whole coup with Todd Haley, Hugh Jackson. It was just a big mess and everything. And the Browns end up jettisoning Hugh Jackson and Todd Haley and hired Williams, who was the defensive coordinator at the time. But if you would have fired Hugh Jackson the year before, you wouldn't have had to take your rookie quarterback through all that. You wouldn't have. And he probably could have possibly had the same coach for the 4 years that he was here. But, so Greg Williams was the coach. We was the interim. Browns played pretty well during Greg Williams' tenure. And a lot of people thought maybe he should have got another year and stuff like that. But guess what the Browns do? They go hire Freddie Kitchens, who was the OC at the time when Greg Williams was the head coach after the Todd Haley and Hugh Jackson mess. So, what do? Freddie Kitchens has 1 year with the Browns. But believe it or not, Baker probably had he had like an off and on year. But it was kind of productive because he had 2 receivers go over 1,000 yards with Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. Both went over 1,000 yards that year. Nick Chubb had like about 1,400 yards rushing. But the Browns couldn't get it together. They were 6-10. So Freddie Kitchens was jettisoned out, and the biggest mistake was that they put Dorsey down a peg, and Dorsey later on eventually left the team. So then the Browns hire Kevin Stefanski, which now, number of head coaches, 3, Stefanski, 4. 4 coaches in 3 years for Baker Mayfield. So that's about 3 different offensive systems. Just about. Now, Stefanski was there. First year was successful. That was the COVID year. The Browns went 11-5 and went to the playoffs. Defeated Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh in the playoffs and everything. They lost to KC in the game that they should have won. They should have won that game. Should have won that game. Anytime you knock Mahomes out and you don't come up with a win, you'll be ruining that for days to come. And you'll always regret that loss. But, should have. But then after that, the next year, the Browns were expected to do big things. So around the second game of the season, Baker gets hurt. Now, normal wisdom thinking would be, since the guy did hurt his shoulder real bad, seemed like you would have put him on the IR and suggest that he get surgery or whatever, get that cleaned up and everything. Because think about it. When your quarterback gets injured, hey, it happened to Dak. He got injured and he got paid. Baker probably would have got paid or something. You know what I'm saying? But no. Kevin Stefanski and them kept trotting him on out there. Trotting him on out there. It became a year from hell. I think the Browns finished 8-9. Browns finished, no, they didn't finish 8-9. They finished like 7-9, something like that. 7-9. Didn't make the playoffs. And that ended up being Baker's last year with the Browns, which I believe. Now, was Baker all the way perfect and innocent? No. He had a lot of growing up to do at the time. And he was a little snarky, a little immature at the time, but he was young. But when there are adults in the room, you're supposed to curb that. With adults in the room, Kevin should have had that guy on IR, Kevin and Andrew Berry. Whoever decision it was to play was terrible. So then, they decided going after another quarterback. And said, well, we need an adult in the room. Which didn't sit well with Baker. I don't blame him. Somebody tell me they need an adult in the room, I'll be like, trade me too. Get me the fuck up out of here. So, they went and got Deshaun Watson, who is of big time scrutiny at the time. But at the time, oh, I know it's spilled milk, but I'm talking about how the Browns mismanage quarterbacks, Wally. What's up with you, big dog? I'm talking about how they mismanage. I'm about to get to Watson too. And Brissett. Because think about it. They get Watson. Now, to be fair, Browns probably didn't think Watson was going to get suspended 11 games. He got 6 originally, but then the league appealed. He got 11. But the Browns were still in almost every game that year with Jacoby Brissett doing 11 games. They're still in almost every game. Watson comes back. They go 3-3. Okay. But the Browns didn't make the playoffs. Didn't make the playoffs at all. They make playoffs. Then the next year, they go 5-1 with Watson. They make the playoffs. I don't know how they did it with 5 different quarterbacks, but they got dusted by Houston in the playoffs. But this year, heading forward, with Watson, new offense, him coming back off injury, it seems like you would have trotted him out there during the preseason, but you didn't. And he needed to work mostly out of everybody in the preseason. He needed to work, and it sure looked like it. In his first 6, 7 games that he played in, he needed to work in the preseason, but he never got it. Never got it. Browns ended up like 1-6 before he unfortunately got hurt. That's why I said they've mismanaged quarterbacks here in Cleveland. They have mismanaged. They have missed, which sets your franchise back. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. If the Browns are going to move on from this, they probably have to clean house. They probably have to clean house. Because Stefanski's a nice guy, and I ain't really in favor of people getting fired. But things just have to change. Because through 5 years, you generally know what it is with them. You'll have 1 up year, 2 down, 1 up. And the 2 up years, you didn't expect nothing out the team. And then with the down years, you expected something out the team. No consistency in everything. But I will also say this. The Browns, if they do part with Stefanski and part with Barry, I don't know if they'll part with Barry or not. They probably will. Only thing is, I don't trust who the hell Jimmy will hire. Him and DePodesta. I don't trust that. So, really, Browns fans are really stuck in between a rock and a hard place. For real. They are stuck with a rock and a hard place. But like I said, this team mismanages quarterbacks. And mismanages, period. Like, Ken Dorsey will be gone too. He'll be gone too. Think about it. That whole staff would be gone. Along with Stefanski. Dorsey too. Think about it. We hired Dorsey after Buffalo jettisoned him. And look at Buffalo's offense since Ken Dorsey's been gone. Just look at it since Ken Dorsey's been gone. But like I said, if the Browns... Right, Wally. He should have never been there. Think about this. Watson looked it worse with Ken Dorsey's offense or whoever offense that was than he did last year before he got hurt. Last year. He looked it worse this year. And that's supposed to be tailoring the offense to him. Like I said, they have to change the culture, and they're going to probably have to start anew. And like I said, even though I wasn't considering this and everything, with Myles Garrett and everything, they might have to consider maybe trading him. Maybe. We'll hate to see that, but this team is going nowhere fast. Nowhere fast. But anyway, the Browns take on Cincinnati with DTR as the quarterback this Sunday. And we'll see what happens. But I'll tell you this, if the Browns finish 3-14, they're going to clean house. They're going to clean house. But I'm going to move right along. I'm going to move right along to Ohio State, as Ohio State will be playing their first home playoff game ever. Ever in the horseshoe, believe it or not. But the playoffs, well, the expanded version of the playoffs just came into existence this year. They'll be playing Tennessee, University of Tennessee Volunteers, who are number 9 in the bracket. Ohio State is number 8. Now, Ohio State is favored by 8, I think, 8 points, whatever. But I'm going to tell you, this is a game you normally would think SEC team coming up north, facing the elements here in Ohio. You'll think Ohio State should win this one. But we thought that 3 weeks ago when they played Michigan. We thought they should win that one. We thought it's a game Ohio State should win, but they could easily lose. They could easily lose, especially if Chip Kelly and Ryan Day have that same offensive game plan that they had against Michigan. They could easily lose, but we will be able to tell a lot from Ohio State on how they start off tomorrow. If they start off good tomorrow, things will look good for the Buckeyes, more than likely. Now, if they start off slow, whew, the Boo Birds probably going to be out on Ryan Day, for real. Because it's even national championship or bust for Ryan Day. Even though the athletic director says Ryan Day is going to stay, let Ohio State get put out tomorrow night at home. And all you got in the memory of this football season with the most expensive team in NIL is 2 losses at the end, a loss to Michigan and a loss to Tennessee at home, a loss to a 5-loss Michigan team, and to a Tennessee team at home in the playoffs, no national championship. Bye-bye, Ryan. That's all I'm going to say. But like I said, and we got to see which Ryan Howard is going to be tomorrow. Is he going to be the Ryan Howard that usually has been consistent, or is he going to be the Ryan Howard that threw them 2 interceptions against Michigan? And at times throws an interception, threw an interception against Penn State. Throws a pick sometimes at the wrong time. We shall see. Definitely shall see. But if Ohio State handles their business and does what they do best and don't try to outsmart anybody, don't try to play games and outsmart anybody, try to be the smartest team in the room, they should pull this game off and go face Oregon at the Rose Bowl. That's what they should do. Now, whether they do that, we will see tomorrow. We will definitely see tomorrow. It's also 4 games this week. 4 college playoff games. You got Ohio State, Tennessee. You have Penn State is going against... No, you have Notre Dame tonight going up against Indiana tonight. Matter of fact, we got 4 Big Ten teams representing and everything. Got Indiana against Notre Dame. I think my prediction with that game, I think Notre Dame will pull that game off. Then on Saturday, along with the Ohio State game, you got Clemson traveling down to Texas, which, I'm going to be honest, that can be an interesting game, Clemson and Texas. Very interesting game, because I really wasn't too impressed with Ewers. And I think Clemson can get them. Clemson can get Texas. I really do think so. I just got a feeling Clemson might pull that off. They may. Unless Arch Manning comes and saves. But I just got that feeling. And then in the other game, which I'm about to look up for December 21st, let's see what I got here. SMU and Penn State. Penn State, I gotta go with Penn State in this game. I think Penn State will be a little too physical for SMU. think they'll be a little too physical for SMU. So I'm going to go with Penn State. Penn State, by the way, is a 9-point favorite. And Texas, they got Texas as a 12-point favorite over Clemson. Imagine that. And Ohio State is a 7-point favorite over Tennessee. So, 4 interesting games. We'll see. We'll definitely see. If Ohio State wins, they get to play Oregon for the second time this year. Big Ten rival. Imagine that. Imagine that. And I'm going to move along and get to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavaliers who sport the best record in the league at... Hold up. Okay, I done messed something up. Okay, there we go. Cleveland Cavaliers sport the best record in the NBA at 23-4. Are taking on the resurgent Milwaukee Bucks at 14-11. The Bucks just won the second annual Emirates Cup as they actually put the clamps on OKC in that final. This game here, we're going to see. We're going to see what's really happening. Unfortunately, there'll be no Isaac Okoro for the next couple of weeks due to an AC joint in the shoulder that he injured on a pick with trying to absorb a pick from Ben Simmons. The Cavs do get, I think today, Matt Strus back. I think. I'm not sure. But I think he's close to returning. And we'll see. It'll be a very interesting game. Which the game will be coming on in about, let's see. Game will be coming on. It's on NBA TV tonight. Game will be coming on in another hour at 7:30. You can check it out on NBA TV or check it out on FanDuel. I'm getting used to calling it Fox or Bally's. This FanDuel now here. But we'll see. We'll see. This will be a very interesting game because Giannis now is going. Evan Mobley has been playing well. We shall see. This will be interesting. Very interesting on the Cavs' part. Because now, a lot of teams now, the Cavs are going to get everybody's best shot now. Especially since they came out 15-0. They're going to get everybody's best shot. But hey, I expect the Cavs to come out victorious. And I expect it to be close. I expect it to be close. And then the Cavs, I think, tomorrow night, will take on the Philadelphia 76ers at home at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Sixers who've been battling injuries with Paul George, Joel Embiid. Just a tough situation for Philly. Very tough situation. Matter of fact, Philly is playing tonight. They're playing at home against Charlotte. Let me see if Embiid is playing tonight. Let me see. Injuries. Yep. Joel Embiid face. Didn't say whether he's out or not. Let's see. Joe McCain, the rookie guard, he's out with a knee injury for Philly. He is basically the main bright spot on that team so far till he got hurt. But, hey, Cavs, so far, so good. Under Atkinson, I have to say that. So far, so good. So far, so good. They got time to heal. They've been off for a few days. And now we got the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. Let's go Cavs. Let's go Cavs. And the Cavs have a stretch where they don't play that many games in so many days like they did at the beginning of the season. So think it's like they're in a stretch of 17 games in 48 days. As before, when the first season first started, it was 17 and 28. And they got some games here at home. Let's go Cavs. Now, gonna go to baseball real quick because I haven't been on here in a while and everything, so I'm trying to bunch everything at once. As you know, a lot of people know, even though people know, the Guardians have traded Andres Jimenez to the Toronto Blue Jays, which caught me by surprise. Caught me by surprise. They did get a much needed pitcher in the end. They traded him for some cat that was playing first base and second base for Toronto. Then they traded that guy to Pittsburgh and got a decent third guy for the starting rotation because the Guardians are short in the rotation. Because think about it, they lost Boyd and they lost Cobb through free agency. Um, and they only left Gavin Williams and Trevor Bybee. So they needed a third pitcher, kid named Diaz. Got good stuff. They needed a third pitcher. They needed that badly. And then they also re-signed Shane Bieber, but he won't be available till August, July, August, if I ain't mistaken. Sometime August, so that's a waste. They still need a fourth and fifth starter. So we don't know what's going to be up with Logan Allen. We don't know what's going to be up with Tristan McKenzie or any of the farm hands that's in the system, minor league system. We don't know. So, well, it's that time for one of them to step up. Two of them to step up. Matter of fact, two of them to step up. And also, now the Guardians have a hole at second. Now, let me ask y'all this. Do you think the Guardians right now are better than the team that went to the ALCS a couple months ago against the Yankees? No. Since they traded Jimenez? And there's rumors that they may try to trade Josh Naylor and Lane Thomas. Center fielder and the first baseman, because I guess they figure Manzardo may be ready at first. And he could be. And with the Lane Thomas, I figure they're figuring that Chase DeLauder should be ready in center field. Now, I look at it like this. Since you done traded Jimenez, why is you going to hand the second baseman job to your 8th rated prospect? And Brito, nothing against him, but you might as well see what Benzana can do, your first round draft pick from last year. From this past year, I mean. You might as well see what he could do now, since you done traded Jimenez. Might as well learn trial by fire now. Then if it don't work, then if he ain't ready, you could bring Brito up. Because Brito is your 8th prospect. I don't understand that. And if you're going to trade Lane Thomas, hopefully you get some pitching. And hopefully Chase DeLauder is ready. He was injured a lot last year, so that concerns me. Josh Naylor, I don't want to see him go. I don't want to see him go. But if Manzardo is ready to fill in those shoes, we'll see. But the Guardians are doing what the Guardians normally do. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. So if they do these moves, they'll probably drop off. Because I'm going to tell you, Detroit and Kansas City and Minnesota are going nowhere in the AL Central. They're going nowhere in the AL Central. In Chicago, they're going to improve. Instead of winning 35 games or 40 games, however games they won, they'll win about 55 to 60. They'll win about 60. So, like I said, we will see with the Guardians and everything. We'll definitely see because I don't know. I don't know about excuse me. I don't know about Tim and his move. I'm gonna be honest. Dude's best second baseman. Now I understand he fell off with the bat some. I understand that, but I don't know. He saved a lot of runs. A lot of runs. Now is DeLauder that guy defensively? Remains to be seen. Is Burrito that guy defensively? Remains to be seen. And can, if they do, Trey Lane Thomas can Chase DeLauder stay healthy next year? And can he hit in the big league level? And can Joaquin Noel get better? Because conventionally, I would say if I were the Guardians, if you're going to trade Lane Thomas, I would move Steven Kwan to center. And you could find a power bat in left field and put Jackenzie Noel in right. And you can keep Naylor and have Naylor and Manzardo switch up at first base and DH between both of them, basically. Because David Fry is going to be out for a while. He's going to be out for a while because he had that surgery on his shoulder. He's going to be out for a while. So, a lot remains to be seen with the Guardians. Things will be interesting this spring training with the Guards. That's all I'm going to say. Things will be definitely interesting. But, it's about that time. Like I said, I'm going to be on here with y'all for long to give y'all my top 10 for the All About Sports 216 top 10 NFL rankings for this week. Now, I didn't do one last week. I didn't do a show last week. It's going to be a little jumbled, so be patient with me. It's going to be a little jumbled and everything. But we're going to start with my number 10 team that wasn't ranked a couple of weeks ago when I did this last time. Well, hold on. We got started all over. Hold on one second. I gotta get my theme music. Hold on. Wait a minute. Gotta get my theme music in here and everything. Here we go. I gotta get my theme music. There we go. There we go. Alright, you ready? At number 10 is the Washington Commanders. The Commanders have won 2 straight. The Commanders will be taking on the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday at home. At number 10. At number 9. This team stay at number 9. No, at number 9. I got a new number 9. Let me take that back. The Baltimore Ravens. But the Ravens can move up. All they got to do is defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team they have had trouble beating in the past. All they got to do is beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had Childs play with the, who did they play last week? Played the New York Giants? Yeah, they played the New York Giants. They had Childs play last week. They dismantled them. This week, they got the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. This will be the first time Lamar Jackson actually plays the Pittsburgh Steelers at home in front of his home crowd. And they moved down from 8. At number 8, we have the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans will be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. The Texans are in first place all alone in the AFC South. And it is all about clinch that division. That's theirs. At number, I'm not number 8. At number 7, let's see what we got here. Number 7, would be, no, 5, 6. Number 7, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers took an L to the Philadelphia Eagles last week, 27-13. The Steelers will be taking on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. They got a tough stretch of the schedule, I'm going to be honest. Pittsburgh now. At number 6, you got the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers. Okay, I got lost for a second. I lost track and everything. Green Bay Packers, who do they play? Wait a minute. Okay, hold up. Green Bay Packers play at home Monday night against the New Orleans Saints. The Packers won their last game. They crushed somebody. They beat the brakes off. I can't remember who they beat the brakes off of, but Green Bay Packers are number 6. At number 5 is, wait for it. The Minnesota Vikings. And they doing big things. They're tied with Detroit. And the top of the NFC North. Whoops. NFC North. The Minnesota Vikings will be traveling to Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks this week. At number 4, team dropped all the way from number 1 due to a loss to the Buffalo Bills is the Detroit Lions. Now the Lions, they're going through it injury-wise, especially on defense. They got like 13 players on their defense on injured reserve. Yikes. Yikes. They're going to have trouble stopping people. But the Lions, they take on, who did the Detroit Lions play? Let's see. They take on the Chicago Bears, who have lost 8 straight. So maybe the Lions can get well quick after this one. At number 3, the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs didn't have to do too much. They defeated the Cleveland Browns 21-7. Pat Mahomes, injured ankle, so fucking what? He's going to be out there tomorrow when they take on the Houston Texans at home tomorrow. Chiefs with a record of 12-2. 13-2. 12-2. What I'm talking about? I'm tripping for real. Chiefs with a record of 12-2. Take on the Houston Texans tomorrow. At number 2, the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills went into Detroit and conquered, defeating the Lions, stopping the Lions' 10-game winning streak, beating the Lions 44-42. Now the Buffalo Bills will be taking on at home the New England Patriots. And wait a minute. You get that back there. There we go. We're going to get that back there. At number 1. That's the wrong one. I'm tripping for real. This will be much more cleaned up next week. At number 1 is the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-13. The Eagles will be taking on the Washington Commanders, the number 10 Washington Commanders, this Sunday. The Eagles probably should have been number 1 for a while, for last couple of weeks. They won 10 straight. They've been playing ball. They're like they're the most well-rounded team in the NFL to me right now. I would say Detroit, but right now Detroit got some injury problems. But right now Philly look like they got the inside track to get to the Super Bowl from the NFC. I'm just saying. But that right there is my top 10. My top 10 NFL countdown for All About Sports 216. Oh, wow. Let me see. There we go. And like I said, now, got the college football games. I predicted them. I predicted Penn State to win. I predicted, I got Clemson, even though they're a 12-point underdog, I got a feeling they may pull it out against Texas. I don't know why. I'm not impressed with Quinn Ewers. I think Ohio State will have enough to pull it out against Tennessee. And what is the other game? What is the other game? I'm tripping for real. I'm tripping. Oh no. I'm gonna do that. The other game is because you got, let's see, Notre Dame and Indiana. I got Notre Dame defeating Indiana. I got Notre Dame defeating Indiana. So I got Notre Dame advancing. I got Clemson advancing. I got Penn State advancing. And I got Ohio State advancing. Those are my college picks for this week. Now the pro picks, you got to check me out on the show on Sunday with the Browns pregame. Ugh. We're going to do a show this Sunday. Me and Ed had the week off, against Kansas City. That's what it was. I didn't think the Browns had a shit chance at winning. So, here's what it is. I ain't supposed to be like that. But I was tired as fuck. Had to work the night before, so I was tired as hell. But this Sunday, we will be back on at 12 o'clock noon Sunday. And for the post game, 30 minutes after the conclusion of the game. 30 minutes after the conclusion of the Browns game. Now, for this show, since the holiday schedule's coming up, I normally would come on Tuesday. But I don't know when I'm going to come on next week. I'm going to be honest with you. I might come on Thursday next week. Thursday for the next 2 weeks. I'll say that. Thursday for the next 2 weeks due to the holidays. Thursday at 6 o'clock. I'll come on for the next 2 weeks. Now, in other stuff, let me see. Did other stuff? Oh wow. I'm tripping for real. I'm all over the place. Let's see. Did Cleveland State play last night? Let's see. I'm looking. No, they did. Let me see. Hold on. Yes, they did. Cleveland State defeated Oakland 92-75. Vikings won by 17 points. Tevin Smith scored a career high for the Vikings. 37 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals for the Vikings, who are Vikings are now 7-6. They're 5th in the Horizon League. Now the Vikings, who they take on next? December 21st. Oh, they don't play. The Vikings take on, who is this? MID Eagles. The Midway Eagles on 26. Well, the Vikings take on the Midway Eagles on Sunday up at Cleveland State. So, support the Vikes. Way to go, men, Vikings. Way to go. Far as for the Lady Vikings, let me check real quick. Let me check for the Lady Vikings. Let's see, NCAA women. December 19th, the Lady Vikings defeated Morgan State 56-39. Now the Lady Vikings will be taking on the University of Purdue. I'm going to see if I'm saying this right. UPRM Bulldogs, whoever they are. That's who the Cleveland State Lady Vikings will be taking on. They're 10-2 and in first place in the Horizon. There to go, Lady Vikes. Like I said, I always got to bring Cleveland State into this. No matter what, I got love for the Vikings. For real. Definitely big time love for the Vikings. Keep balling out, y'all. But anyway, that concludes the show for today. Wasn't as clean as normally I'm used to doing it, but I did it. But anyway, feel free to keep hitting me up. Check me out on Sunday when I do the Cleveland Browns pregame as the Browns take on the Cincinnati Bengals. And I will see you then. Everybody have a good night, good weekend, be safe, enjoy your holidays, and be well, everybody. And pray for everyone. Pray for everyone. This is your man Keith Allen, All About Sports 216, and I'm signing out.
We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport.
Love, man.